All right, moving on from that nonsense. Mid-season awards. I found this story from Bill Barnwell, and we're at the mid-season point right now. And you can also leave your comments right there. We read the comments and we see what you guys. So, if you agree with Bill Barnwell or not, or myself or not, here's where a lot of these awards are right now. And I'm going to do Coach of the Year. I'm going to do Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and where we stand right now at MVP. And so Bill Barnwell, he went Coach of the Year first. And right now, this has been a really good football season in my personal opinion. But Bill Barnwell has right now for your Coach of the Year, here's his top 3 candidates. In no particular order. This is not 1, 2, or 3, or 3, 2, or 1, but he has Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings head coach. One of the things that Bill Barnwell says in this is that O'Connell has gotten significant credit for building an efficient offense around a journeyman quarterback, Sam Darnold. And I think that's true. Sam Darnold has been around this league, and he has been ridiculed and ostracized. And I think he's got with Kevin O'Connell, and they have given him a good offensive line, a decent running game, and of course, having to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson doesn't help a quarterback. But Sam Darnold, who's bounced around for a while, I gotta say this though. One thing that I think about when I think about the Vikings that we may not necessarily see right now, and he took a major hit when he was in Miami. Brian Flores and what he's been able to do with that defense. Now, I know that he is not the head coach, but I think he's doing enough in this season so far. And depending on where the Vikings end up at the end of this year, I think the name Brian Flores, and I know he took a hit when Tua came out and he talked about how Brian Flores told him every single day that he sucked. And that's not funny, but he took a major PR hit with that one. But right now, he's playing some good football, and he's helped this team significantly. And the Vikings are sitting there at 6-2 right now, and that NFC North is a tough division right now when you look at the way that they're playing football. The second coach in the Coach of the Year, according to Bill Barnwell, is Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn took the head coaching job at the Washington Commanders, and he has turned that place around, man. He has done a wonderful job in hiring the right people, putting the right people in position. But he went and got guys like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz. And, of course, his quarterback cannot take it away that Jaden Daniels is playing some of the best football in this league. And they even made a big trade at the trade deadline, went and got cornerback from the New Orleans Saints, Marshawn Lattimore. I don't think Marshawn is what he once was, but I think sometimes we discredit football knowledge. You're going to hear me say that about a couple of guys that you may on certain teams. But a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, who probably has some skill left, he's not what he once was, the all-pro that he once was, but the knowledge of it, you see him already working with some of the guys in Commanders practice and giving up some of the game to some of those younger guys. So Dan Quinn, definitely has the Commanders. I thought the Commanders would be a good team. I thought they were a year away. I thought Dan Quinn would go there with a young quarterback, and then after a year or so, get them kind of right back into the mix of things. Well, Dan Quinn said, shut the hell up, Jesse. I'm getting these guys going right now. And currently he has, I think Washington's in first place in the NFC East. They're in the first place in the NFC East. Washington, Philadelphia, Dallas, and New York. That definitely took the league by storm, and Dan Quinn is putting some really good football out there in Washington. And the other coach that they have, and this guy seems like he's in that conversation every single year almost, talking about taking less and doing more. This coach in all his time in the National Football League has yet to have a losing season. Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is in that conversation. He started out the year with Justin Fields, which I was never a fan of, and then moved over to Russell Wilson when he got fully healthy, and things are starting to pick up. They scored 63 points over their last 2 games, and another name that they have in their team that's probably going to be in the defensive year category, T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick and Joey Porter Jr. I mean, they have a really good nucleus in Pittsburgh, and they just added a receiver. I'm not the biggest fan of this receiver, but will he be able to help this team? Hopefully, maybe. They traded for Mike Williams. You pair him up now with George Pickens, who I think, this is my personal opinion, may have the best eye-hand coordination in the league and the strongest hands in the league. When the ball gets in George Pickens' hands, it doesn't come out. And he makes some insane catches and has some incredible body control. So you add another big-time receiver on the outside. Now Russell can throw those moon balls down the sideline to Pickens and to Williams. I hope Williams can catch it because, he's had a little bit of issue with the hands and catching these type of balls. But nonetheless, Mike Tomlin, tell me what you think. I would be remiss if I did not add my boy into the mix. MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell. You got to put him in. I think he has to be in the mix. What he is doing right now in Detroit, he has revived an entire city and state. Like, he really has. And he's putting his team in position to do something that they've never done in franchise history. And right now, Detroit is the favorite coming out of the NFC to play in the Super Bowl. And some may even have them beating, whether that be the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bills out of the AFC. But right now, the front runner coming out of the NFC is the Detroit Lions. So I would be remiss if I did not add my boy, Motor City Dan Campbell, who, if I decide to take on a second team and not cheer and root for the Cowboys, it would be the Lions. I just like the Lions. If I was still able to play, which I'm not, and I could pick the team that I wanted to go play for, not being a front runner, but his style fits my personality. To have that real, raw, uncut, real life brotherhood relationship, that fits who I am as a person, and I would not mind playing for Motor City Dan Campbell in Detroit.